What was fascinating for me is that I was sitting in church on Sunday morning, and somebody shared a sort of a prophecy in the beginning before things started, and talked about an unfulfilled prophecy that he had had in his life. He was given a prophecy in April 1977, and it was still unfulfilled. And you know, as I was listening to him speak, I suddenly realized that it was in 1977, and probably in the month of April, that I was standing in my classroom at the age of 11, and suddenly my heart skipped, or did a flick-flack, I think. And I knew in that instant that I was going to map the world. And as I had that vision, I saw a literal map, as you can see over here, of the world. And in fact, there was the words above this map that said, "Map of the World." And immediately a voice began to remove that picture and say, the world has already been mapped. It cannot possibly be something that you should be doing. And I, in the same instant that I had this great revelation, I also buried it. But what was remarkable for me on Sunday morning was that it suddenly dawned on me that my son Joshua had, in April this year, 40 years later, actually crossed the seas and stepped into Europe. And what did he do there? He actually ran a Map for Life training while he was there. And that was just for me a kind of the 40 years of wilderness has now passed, and today it is time. And I want to say to each of you this morning that the time has come to begin to act on your dream, to no longer sit and wait for one day when the circumstances are right. You know, there's 4 things that you are going to experience when you begin to pursue your purpose. And these 4 things are absolutely necessary for you to understand, because if you don't understand them, it will keep you in that place of wilderness. It'll keep you in that place of just feeling that it was never meant to be. That was a dream for someone else. Dreams are there to tease us. They're never to become a reality. You know, just some people are lucky. I want to tell you this morning that it's not about luck. It's got nothing to do with luck. There's 4 things that you're going to experience immediately you begin to pursue your purpose. Immediately you begin to have a vision that you want to go and share with the world. When you want to step up to your calling in life and begin to fulfill that which God created you to do, something is going to want to oppose you. I say something, it depends on where you come from right now, but there are things that are going to, in a way, want to oppose the very thing that you were created to do. And the first of these 4 things that I want to share with you this morning is the spirit of lack. And the spirit of lack is always feeling that you just don't have enough. You know, what God created you with wasn't quite good enough. You need to have something extra. You need to be married perhaps to the right person. You need to have the right kind of partner. You need to have somebody else. You know, Moses had the idea that he couldn't speak. Therefore, how could he go and address Pharaoh in Egypt? Because he stuttered. And he complained about his lack. And I just wonder right now, what is your little lack that you feel you're not good enough to pursue that which you are called to do? And when you listen to people speaking today, very often they talk about lack. If only I had this, then I could be somebody. When right now, you and I are absolutely unique. There's no one else like you on the planet. That makes you value beyond measure. Everything that you try and add to yourself is just making you a commoner. You are born to be unique. You are born an original. Most people die a copy. But this spirit of lack is the one thing that's going to keep you from stepping out and taking the bold steps necessary. In fact, the steps of faith that we talk about. It's a spirit of lack. And as I speak to you, I could run through a lot of examples, but right now, you can perhaps reflect. What are the things that you are blaming for your current circumstance? What are the things you wish you had so that you could start? That is the spirit of lack. And it's going to be the one thing that's going to attack you or stand up against you to prevent you from taking the first step. What is the first step? Writing it down. If you've not written down or described your vision or dream for yourself, for your family, for your community, for your country, for your continent, for the world, if you've not yet described that, you've not taken the first step. Why? Because you think you do not qualify.